BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. Welcome to this 50 minutes of experience. Today I'm with Emil Lombardo, based in London and born in Argentina. And welcome, Emil.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
It's really a pleasure for me to have you, and especially for what I have seen of your work. It's so amazing. And now I can see also on your face, and this is really nice because I can feel the energy. And I was really curious before to start to talk with you because of something is really off topic, but Emil is your real name.
Yes.
Yeah, just to know, because I'm Emiliano, so it's interesting, for me that in Italian ways there is Emiliano, Emilio, Emilia. So, and I wanted to know if Emil was a short part of Emilia or it's totally something else.
Oh, okay. So, no, Emil is my name. It's my real name. Just as I think it's important that, considering the nature of my work and the nature of my, everything I do, is that I think, I understand maybe you're not very sensitive about this because you probably just, you're a cisgender person and straight person, but you should never really ask any trans person if that's their real name.
No, it's not about that. It's not about that. I wanted to just to know because of Argentinian connection with the Italian also domination. I wanted to know if it was coming from Italian. It's not about the gender. I really don't care about that.
Yeah, I understand that, that it was probably not doing on purpose, but it's something that, I invite you to be a bit more careful about it, because in general, you shouldn't ask a trans person, is that your real name? It's like quite, unfortunately, it's quite transphobic. And so
I couldn't imagine to offend, because it's for me, in a way or another, I mean, it's not important really what is the gender or what you do it in your private life. I mean, it's your private life. It's not about that. We talk about just be human. For me, it's not about that. I understand your point of view. For sure, it's just curiosity. I mean, as if it was not, imagine it was not your real name, okay?
I mean, the thing is, like, in general, like, I'm pretty sure that, people don't ask this question, just, cisgender people, like when I meet someone that is cisgender, I don't assume that they have changed their name for some reason, I don't ask them, is that your real name, so people for some reason, assume that trans people don't have that name, or obviously many people change their name. It can be many different kind of stories, but there's no and as a general rule, you don't ask a trans person.
I mean, it's
something that you wouldn't ask a cisgender person.
It was not about the real name. I mean, the name about the gender, but for example, happened. I tell you some, I met a friend, and the beginning she told me, "Yeah, I'm Suzanne, but you can call me Susie." And they say, "Why I have to call you Susie if your name is Suzanne?" And the same was like, for example, another girl, a photographer. She called herself Lucy in different way, with Y, with the E in the end. And in the end, I when she sent me an email, there was wrote Lucinda, and I said, "But who is this Lucinda now?" And then she said, "Yeah, I am Lucinda, no?" And I said, Lucinda is your real name, so I didn't know that. But this was the point. I wanted to ask if it was just the short part of your name, but
no, that's my name, Emil Lombardo.
it's not really important for me about the gender. Is not that the point. And also, if you changed your name, imagine you changed your name. I wanted just to know if it was short part or a complete part. Probably, yeah. I just wronged the form of the question. Anyway, so tell something about you first, then we can go a bit more deep than after we know something about you.
About me, I'm a photographer. I was born and raised in Argentina, but I've been in Europe for half of my life, pretty much. Mostly in France, and now a little bit in Rome, and now in Italy, and sorry, in London. My work is concerned with questions of body politics, representation, and visibility, in particular queer experiences, and in particular trans experiences.
Yeah, as I have seen your work, and I mean, I was not really so fast getting in touch with the queer, but I don't know, maybe it's my vision, but I just watched people that was interesting people, strong character, strong expression. So I didn't really feel at the beginning it was about queer. And then, yeah, when I went on reading also, then I discovered that. But yeah, at the beginning for me was like, wow, it's like, these people has really a strong story behind them. I can see in them look. And this is something why then I came to your profile and I asked you to doing a podcast with you, because then I thought about, okay, probably the photographer has got a lot of this experience during this shooting, because as you do it, you shoot portrait, and this portrait has to, in a way or another, telling a story. And I'm really curious about what are some of this story touched you more.
Great. I'm glad that, partly glad that you said that, that you were interested in, the people, and because part of the way I approach my portraits is like, even though my main focus is photographing trans and non-binary people and or queer people, I'm interested in I would say I'm interested in showing sometimes the queer people or the trans people that I don't see in other photography. There's a lot of people working on, subjects about body politics or representation. And, there's so many amazing other photographers doing, incredible work. But sometimes I feel like, some of the photographers will focus mostly in like, the otherness, or like the thing that queerness of of the queerness representation, which I also love that part, and I also like to photograph that part of the community. But sometimes I think about who will photograph I don't know, a no-binary person who doesn't look androgynous, a no-binary person that doesn't look the way cis people expect them to look, like usually they will, expect a no-binary person to look androgynous, but it's a big difference between gender identity and gender expression, and I'm interested in that. So that's why I don't really cast in general. Like, I photograph anyone who wants to be part. I don't even want to meet or see pictures of the people I photograph before I photograph them, because I interact by email, and some people want me to send me pictures, and I'm like, I'm fine, I don't want to see anything. I just want to go and photograph and see what I discover when I meet them. And that's why I like to have a big or broad spectrum of all the trans experiences, and all the different ways that we have of expressing and living our identities.
Yeah, I can understand your work is
Yeah.
quite mental and energetic. So this take a lot, I think, from your inside, and I was asking to myself some question
Yeah.
also about how is your approach with the people in general you shoot with the um, in general, how did you approach to this topic? Also, if is my question is more like when happened that and what you was doing before to
Mhm.
approach to this topic. Definitely to write your personal work.
You mean the whole topic of my work or this particular project?
Yeah, the whole work you do it actually. I mean, the last three projects I've seen.
Yeah.
So then, what was before and what happened? In the time saying, okay, now I want.
Mhm.
Probably it's also unconsciously, but now I want to focus on that, and I want to ride this horse
Mhm.
until the end of that fight. I don't know. I win this
Thank you.
fight, for example. This is really interesting me, and then later I tell you why I don't want to cut this part and forget the question. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Thanks. I mean, it's interesting. I've been doing photography since a lot of time. So 2008 when I started, and but it was a hobby for many years because I have another degree in science, and I think at the beginning I was mostly interested in the technical part of the of the photography. Like I learned everything I could about anything, like all the film, techniques, alternative processing, studio. I mean, and I guess after a while, I did wanted to focus on telling stories, but I didn't know exactly. I couldn't find exactly what I wanted to do. For the whole part, I've been doing portrait for a long time, but before it was probably just photographing my friends, my lovers, my family. I mean, people in the street, but there was never with a specific subject or topic. And I think after I joined in the RCA, I was still experimented a lot during my first year, but there was a lot of personal changes that happened during my first year at school. I think one of them, it's something that people don't really know this about my work or don't really see it, but during my first year at the RCA, I you know, became Buddhist. So I embraced, a Buddhist philosophy, and the kind of Buddhism that I practice is very humanistic. So it's very focused on helping the others and helping, people by also changing, ourselves in the way, like not changing, but like improving, the way we are and also affecting our environment in this way. And I think it became something that is, a very core and important part of my life, this having this way of approaching life. And it gave me a sense of mission in a certain way. And I think progressively, I didn't have to even think about it. A project like this presented to me, and I thought this is something so important because it's part of my identity. And in this way, I I think I wanted to help as in my modest way, to something that it was an important cause to me, because as a trans no-binary person myself, I wanted to yeah, I guess I just wanted to explore those part of my identities while I was also working, with the others. I do think that life is the reality is sort of reflection of ourselves, and so it's, to me, it's like quite normal that in a sort of natural and organic way I went through that, to this direction. And I don't know if I'm going to be photographing people for the rest of my life. That's maybe, I have no idea. But because I'm not only interested in that part of the subject of social justice, I'm interested in how it relates with feminism, with racial issues, with I don't know, questions of access, and privilege, and how it relates to interact with disabled people. Like there's a whole a spectrum on that I think it's not only it's not only a trans issues, it's bigger.
Yeah, it's totally bigger. I mean, what is the fight? Probably you do it also with your images, and you help. This particular topic is not really related to only queer, but in general to everyone. I mean, I'm totally agree, and I'm totally in that too. I mean, I fight in my way to reserve the value of every human. I mean, also this podcast. I don't make podcasts only. I mean, there are people, they have 1,000 followers, and people are as 20 followers. I don't give really a fuck about that. I'm interested in meeting the person I have in front of me. It doesn't matter for me what gender you are or what you do it in your private life. I mean, this doesn't matter. I mean, I have a brain. I mean, I see the people as brain and soul. That's it. I mean, this is the human in the end, and this is what make us human, and I think what make us also individuals. And I don't know really why, because this is something I think for us is a fight against something we don't understand. This is the problem, I think, that we fight against someone else or some ideas that we don't know where come from, because we are used to don't think in that way, and this is really difficult. And I like what you do, because I always said many times in general for different topic that is important to show, because more we show, more we are used to see, more we are used to accept stuff. Every topic is important to show in a way, and to realize that exists that, and this person, for example, in your case, in your project, this person are human, and what they have different from you, they do it the same identical stuff we do it. They breathe, they eat, they have sex, they go in the bathroom like everyone. And I really support what you do it. And I was telling you before, I like a lot. There is one project in your website where you printed this big poster, no? This big advertising. And this is so amazing, because some months ago I was working, I have a friend, he's a queer, and I started to shoot him some months ago, and he's really in the fight of queer people. And I'm in the fight of human people. So then I started to sketch down some way to use in picture, and I wanted to make a project of him from naked to every kind of clothes he could wear, and always saying, "Yeah, I'm a human." So the font type is "I'm a human," and doesn't matter what I dress or what I don't dress. If I have a dick or a vagina, it doesn't matter, that I'm just a human. And I like it a lot to see that project on your website, because then I said, so I'm not the only one who was thinking to putting this advertising in the street like that, and saying something like that, and this make me really happy. And I want to also ask you something else. Because watching your images, especially of the last project, I'm really curious to know if you are continuing to shoot with some of these people, because in a way I also during the lockdown went out and started to collect in a way, and to get in touch with a lot of people, and I did this project, was called Humans, And randomly, really randomly, I contacted a lot of people from Instagram and started to meet them just to stay passing time with them every week.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know if you are still getting in touch with these people, you should.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, yes, like I think most of these people I never met them before, which is was yeah, it was good because I got to meet so many people during this winter lockdown, and with many of them I'm still in contact, through Instagram. We interact, or we chat briefly. I know that some of them we have friends in common, so we especially in East London there's a lot of queer places, so we can see in those places. So I don't know if I will photograph them again, like probably. I mean, I'm not completely close to that. I think this project is not as it is. I'm not continuing. I'm mostly at the moment focus on showing this project because I have a few shows coming, but and also focus on my next project that I will start early next year. And probably maybe for that project, I will be glad to photograph some of them. I think I will have to see how that goes. But it's I'm happy that I'm in contact with many of them. At least it's just Instagram, and exchanging a few messages, or replying to people's stories, and just like it's always nice to see, to keep a contact.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's really difficult for me to lose the contact with people I shoot with. In a way or another, I contact them because in the end, I think the point is we like, to get in touch with people. It's not only to taking picture of them. We are not collecting the stickers of the
Yes.
sticker. We are getting in touch with the emotion, with the feeling, and with some energy we cannot really avoid or hide from our life.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it's something that happens when I meet. I most of the time I completely become like infatuated with people I photograph. Like, I'm just like completely, I'm so happy on that moment, even if it's not an easy shooting, or something. I've been
Yeah,
I'm just like
totally.
extremely happy, and I'm so happy. When I was meeting those people, I was like genuinely hoping that we will get a beer after, or something. And in many cases we say it, but I'm someone also who I'm quite introvert and quite shy. So, but also quite open and impulsive. So, I mean, I think it's mostly like I'm someone who never like I'm not gonna do the first, thing. But for instance, in someone like any of the person that I photographed tell me, "Oh, let's go for a coffee," I will be like, "Yes," I would jump in when I go. But because I will be super happy to do it. But I'm not like I will be a bit shy to say, "Oh, this," I don't know, because that's where the way I guess I am. So I'm happy that some of them, yeah, they work at places where I go, so I still have some interaction, and yeah, maybe I will, at some point, see other ones. But I do want, like, I think a part of me understand that, like, I would love to keep, contact, or maybe even,
Yeah.
build sort of relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. As I said, no, I also do it, this connection with the people, and most of the time I say, I mean, I don't really, it doesn't matter for me if we have good picture. If we can have a good moment together, 2-3 hours, what else? We can have a beer, we can have a coffee, what else is? Yeah, let's say that I don't have the picture I was expecting to do, no? I mean, in the end, I'm happy if I had a good moment, because for me, it's this. In the end, I understood some years ago that for me was really important to spend time with value with the people I was meeting than just going out and, you know, take a beer with people you don't know and just always talking about stupid stuff. I don't like that. I want to really have a good exchange of energy, also stupid stuff for sure, but these things that you are satisfied in the end of the day that you had this exchange and you have something inside of you that I think this is really important with a creator or with working with the visual, that we are in a way the ones detain the value, and we are storyteller in the end. Is really important.
Yeah.
And just to close our podcast, I want to ask you another question, probably more off topic of photography, but in general, ever happen that in your life you had the moment you couldn't shoot photography, and for a reason or for another, and because something touched you really deeply, and what was, if happened that?
You mean like if I was, if I went to take pictures because something really...
Yeah. If ever happened something in your life that stopped you to taking picture because you couldn't take a picture. Stopped you.
Sorry.
And
that part. Okay. If that something stopped me from taking pictures, not, I don't think so. I don't think so. I've been in, probably I had periods of my life where I was certainly not inspired at all, but it was more like a period or something where I was not feeling, I was not feeling okay. And it was weird because it's not that I was not, it was not because I was depressed or anxious or something. It was just that I was somehow a bit like numb, and I had a few, short periods, but nothing stopped me in general when even if, like, I'm very blessed that I don't, I'm very happy and I feel feel very happy in my life, but I did have periods in my life where I was not feeling, happy or forever, like a breakup or whatever, someone, problems with jobs or I don't know. And I would be even more interested actually in, use my camera. I think it's maybe as a way of escape, or, as a way of like, doing something that will make me feel better, because actually taking pictures or spending time in the dark room, or even, even editing pictures, which is the less fun part for me, all that is, those things that make me extremely happy. So I will enjoy it.
Just another things, it's coming to my mind. Then I have to cut off this because I never do it. It's 50 minutes in the end. If you ask to advise something to someone who want get in touch with the topic of queer and feminist and this fight, and working as photographer or visual artist in that, what kind of advice you would give to them?
If there are visual artists that they want to work with these issues, you said?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it will depend. And I would say if the photographer or the the artist that want to work on these issues is part of that community, I think it will be in somehow easier, because we'll have first hand understanding and why is doing that. And if for some reason it's not part of that community and still want to like do something, with those topics, I think I will. To me, the most important thing is like to learn from the people and to surround, with, if you want to understand trans issues, to talk to the trans people, and also, talk to them, but also do your research, first, like do your research, whatever, online, understand there's lots of topics, online, so you don't have to, so you don't expect, to ask a marginalized community to, instruct you, like to give you, classes, like the information is there. I don't know. I think I will I would try to respond in the way I do it myself. Even though I don't know, I'm part of the queer community, I'm white, and I try to acknowledge and understand that privilege, every day, and things that I do with my work. And I don't know, I try as much as I can to, learn and understand, racial, issues. And I always want to include people of color in my pictures. I don't like my pictures to be like, everyone's white. So I try as much as I can. I give actually priority, to people of color if I have to photograph them, because I wanted to have a broader, representation. But I go to my shootings trying to understand that, all the privilege that I carry, on my position. And yeah, I mean, I think it's very important to ask questions, to listen to questions, and to especially like understand the answers. Like, if I ask a question to a person of color about whatever, something, or they're a person of color, they, tell me, listen, Emil, whatever you did here, it's, not okay, or like, this is actually work this way. And if I think that they're wrong, I probably gonna shut the fuck up, and I'm gonna go first believe them, and then probably go and search and understand why I think in this way, because I'm not expect as a like, people of color know what is racist more than white people. Trans people know what is transphobic, more than cis people. Women know what is sexist more than men, and so that's, I think, like, the big, advice is like modesty and humble. Like, understand that you're never, even if you do all the research and lots of things, you will never be on that situation. So you will never really know, because there are two ways of knowing things. You have the logical knowing, like I learned everything with my brain, and then the physical one, is the difference between knowing the path, and walking the path. It's not the same, and if someone wants to any artist that is interested in helping with their art, it's amazing. I think I just need to approach this in a very modest and humble way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's really clear and full of emotion. I love it. And thank you a lot. And I hope everyone listening to this podcast will go to watch your picture to understand the topic, to support in the way they can. And this was Emil Lombardo, and thank you a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Yeah, it's great.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Learn more about our project at allmylinks.com/BerlinExplorer, or visit our Instagram and follow BerlinExplorer project.